Good morning. This is Send 7, simple English news daily in 7 minutes. I'm Stephen Devincenzi. Today is Friday the 17th of July, 2026. Starting in Europe today, in Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky has removed the Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov just days after also removing the Prime Minister. There were protests against the removal of Fedorov in Kyiv yesterday. Protests have been rare since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, sparking the biggest war in Europe since World War II. Around 1,000 people protested, carrying signs with words such as shame and for what, referring to the lack of explanation that Zelensky has given for removing Fedorov. Yesterday, Parliament confirmed Sergei Koretsky as the new Prime Minister. British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer visited Ukraine yesterday, just a few days before he is expected to leave office. Starmer was awarded the Order of Freedom, Ukraine's highest honour. The European Union and Ukraine have signed a new defence industrial partnership, which will produce drones together. Speaking at a ceremony on Wednesday, EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that the agreement will benefit both Ukraine and the EU.
What we are signing today is our very own drone deal. Together we can work on joint production, on making all of the components of the system work, and we can provide both defence industrial bases with the impetus needed to decisively step up investment and production.
The German delivery company Delivery Hero will be bought by US company Uber for almost 13 billion euros. Uber already owned about a quarter of Delivery Hero. The deal will combine Delivery Hero's brands with Uber Eats in 99 countries, including Latin America's Pedidos Ya and Asia's Food Panda. However, to avoid problems with competition regulators, Uber will not take over operations in 14 countries where Delivery Hero's brands are already dominant, such as in Spain and Portugal with Glovo, Norway and Sweden with Foodora, and in Turkiye with Yemeksepti. Those companies will be bought by another American company called SSW. In Turkiye, there was a rally of supporters of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and a drone show on Wednesday night to mark the 10th anniversary of the failed coup d'etat. Erdogan promised to continue action against the group accused of starting the coup. On the 15th of July 2016, thousands of Turkish soldiers, allegedly supported by the powerful social and educational Gulen movement, attempted to take control of the country but were fought back by other soldiers. Around 300 people were killed. Since then, around 3 million people have been tried for crimes related to the coup, and 15 universities, 1,000 schools, and over 1,000 charities have been shut down due to alleged links to the coup. Some magazines, newspapers, and TV and radio stations were forced to close. Democracy rights groups and human rights groups say that Turkiye has become more authoritarian over the last 10 years, with many agreeing that Erdogan is now effectively a dictator. Erdogan has ruled Turkiye as either prime minister or president for 23 years. In Italy, a former motorway executive has been sentenced to 12 years in prison over the collapse of a bridge in Genoa in 2018, which killed 43 people. 31 other people have received prison sentences. Africa. In Kenya, 3 men have been killed on the Del Monte pineapple farm over the last year, according to The Guardian, the British newspaper. In 2023, The Guardian reported of people being assaulted or killed for allegedly trespassing on Del Monte's pineapple farm. In response, Del Monte changed its security team and started working in more collaboration with the police. Despite this, The Guardian says that 1 man has been shot and 2 others have died from falling off motorbikes, when being confronted by the farm's new security team. One friend of a person who died admitted that they were stealing pineapples together. In Algeria, over 120 wildfires are burning in the northern regions, made worse by high temperatures and strong winds. Farms have been particularly badly damaged, with crops destroyed and animals killed. Asia and Oceania. In the sea close to Myanmar, over 500 people are likely to have died in 2 shipwrecks over the last few weeks. The United Nations said that the 2 ships appeared to have left Myanmar's Rakhine state, or camps in nearby Bangladesh, where Rohingya refugees live, in late June. Refugees in these areas often try to take boats south to Malaysia or Indonesia in search of a better life. In New Zealand, there is concern about native bird species after bird flu H5N1 has been detected for the first time. New Zealand has been preparing for the possible arrival of this virus for years because of the sensitive bird ecosystem. Vaccinations have started to be given to 5 endangered species. There are 94 bird species that are endemic to New Zealand. Venezuela's government has said that it is starting talks with the opposition aimed at strengthening democracy. Democracy monitoring groups have generally considered Venezuela to have transformed into a dictatorship at some point during the presidencies of Hugo Chavez or his successor Nicolás Maduro, who was captured by the US military in January. The government has said that the opposition will be represented by the politician Dinora Figuera, who has been in exile in Spain since 2018. However, there was no mention of talks with Maria Corina Machado, who is generally considered the most popular opposition leader, or Edmundo González, who is widely considered to have been the real winner of the last presidential election. The United States has announced 25% tariffs on most imports from Brazil, saying that the tariffs are a response to unfair trade practices. Brazilian President Lula said that the decision had no justification. And a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton has been sold for $50 million, a record for a dinosaur fossil. The 11-meter-long skeleton is considered one of the biggest and most fully complete skeletons ever found. A massive thank you to SJ in Germany and Baz in Spain for becoming our newest supporters. Also, if I haven't said your name for a while, a big thank you to you for keeping this podcast running. Our supporters have access to all of our transcripts, vocabulary lists, worksheets, and world news quizzes, and we've got more supporters benefits planned and coming soon. You can become a supporter at send7.org. We give 10% of our profit to highly effective charities. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday.